Thank you for sticking with us through our break. I'm not exactly sure why Calvin is already invoking the trauma train, but let's get back to it. Choo choo.
Doesn't understand. I will point out one thing. I don't know if you want to make a perception or insight check about it, but when the Guardian started with saying um, that there was something more important, Kingsley slumped
Oh.
a
To be
little.
fair, he didn't say more important. He said more pressing.
More pressing.
Mm-hmm.
Although I would arguably say that your planet dying is more important than your missing parents.
Yeah.
That she kind of not in a big way, but in a little way, she kind of drew into herself on that.
Would
So-
Celia have noticed that?
I don't know. Make a perception check.
Okay, I feel like just because of whom it is.
Exactly. Of all of us, you should be the one that's honed in on that one. So
You notice.
Yeah. You definitely notice.
So what do you mean the magic is dying?
Ruby, or not Ruby, wow, Soda is gonna scrounge around in her bags and she's gonna pull out the various black crystals that she's collected and the one really nasty one that she's kept wrapped up and separate. And just be like,
is that the one from the lab?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. The really nasty one is the one she broke off of the Sentinel that was in the Rotunda. Not Sentinel, but
You mean literally the, like, council or whatever?
yeah.
So
whoever,
you
like,
okay? So she has one. She has a shard from the creatures in the lab.
Yeah.
She has a piece of the soulless gem.
Yes.
And she has one other thing that I cannot remember what the heck it is right now.
So I think it's technically she has 2 soulless gems and 1 gem from the lab. And then the fourth one is the one she broke off from the fight in the Rotunda. And that one was the one that like tried to get in her head.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's not a problem with bringing all those things into Ithium.
Well, that's why she's presenting it now. And again, like the one that like tried to mind creep, she kept wrapped up in a separate cloth for safety. Anyway, she's gonna pull those out and be like, information, if it is helpful, and if it is not, I will take it elsewhere and destroy it, depending on what is best for you and this planet.
Oh, I know what it was. I know what it is. She actually only has 3. She's got the first thing she took was the black shard from the second encounter with the cult people.
Mm-hmm.
With the Nightfire cult. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is the first black shard she has. The second black shard is the one that came from the creatures in the lab.
Okay.
That is the one that when she tried to read it, it invaded her mind.
Okay.
And then the third one is a piece from a soulless.
That's right.
They're all black shards.
Yeah.
They all look similar but different.
Yeah.
And one of them, when she tried to read it, someone said, "Oh, I don't think so."
And pooped me out. And I went,
yes.
Oh no. Oh no.
Soda's coming in like the otter in that meme, like, I found these.
Yes, I found these.
My precious rocks.
Soda.
Yes?
Have you just been carrying those around in your backpack?
I carry a lot of things around with me. It's my life.
Did you touch them?
At some point, yes, I've touched all of them. I mean, I had to pick them up, but...
But you're not feeling any effects of them like Emerald and I were.
A little different, and they're spicy, but it's why I've kept them away from other people.
So, the shard, when you tried to read it, somebody said, "No, I don't think so," and booped you out.
Mm-hmm.
The black shard from the Nightfire cult, that was what awoke those feelings in you that very clearly something or someone tried to take you over when you touched it. You didn't even do anything other than touch it. Same thing happened with the not same thing, very similar thing happened when you took the piece of the Solus.
Meanwhile,
someone tried to sort of push your will aside, and
meanwhile, Emerald is thinking about her missing parents while watching her friends discuss Soda's rock collection.
Right.
So I mean, like, yeah, weird things happen, but that's why I was keeping them away from people. But now, like, with the Guardian looking the way he does and saying the world is dying, I just feel like this might be a little bit of information to share to help solve those problems.
If the Guardian doesn't need it, the Solus one, I might want to experiment with something on.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna wrap it up in a little piece of cloth and be like, "Here you go."
Be careful with those. We don't know what we're dealing with.
Can we get back to the planet dying?
Yeah, let's start there, and then I'm gonna test something on this.
So when not that one you can keep, but this one was from when we fought at the school. Spicy. Scary. No, that's the word. It was scary. Scary.
Sure, it wasn't Bosch? Baby Ginger or Baby?
No, I was scared. It made me scared. No, I'm not normally scared.
It made you scared and incredibly angry.
Yeah, she's not really wanting to admit the anger part.
Put that one in there? Okay.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm not used to being scared, and so... And with all three of them, like, someone was trying to do something, and I said no, and so no. But with Amber talking about a metamind that's not a metamind, and then these things are all acting together in a way, and it's coming from the bad stuff that's fallen. Anyways, it feels connected, and I'm not smart enough to figure it out, but we have a bunch of brains in this room, so we can do it together, right?
What can you tell us, Guardian?
Yes.
I can tell you that the magic that is Lafandi is disappearing. It is being drained away. And while that was already occurring when you were awoken as GemStars, it has begun to speed up since this infection. And he holds up one of his arms and kind of like very slowly, kind of like looking at it, was brought to Ithium.
That infection distinctly came from an attack on the fortress outside the wilderness. Expanse. Words, terminology.
The Ash Waste is...
Thank you.
Yes. The place where Darkfall happened.
That one.
Did you happen to feel anything when those people with the lore were transported away up to Shadowfall? Because you're talking about something draining, and I don't know, they got kind of sucked up, and sort of, I don't know.
I am not aware of what you are speaking of.
There was, and I will give the time because for Kingsley it was like 3 days ago. For us, it was like 6 months ago.
Yeah. Yep.
That
Kingsley would be aware that happened after the healing occurred. It was like immediately. It was like the healing happened. You went to fight at the school. That battle ended. The lore were dropped.
Yeah, and so right after we left last time, a portal trademark was opened in the sky, and a bunch of people from somewhere else came through. When I say a bunch, I mean like a million.
Like 3,000.
No, it was
a million.
Was pretty close to a million.
Was it a
people.
million?
And we lost.
We managed to keep about 3,000 from getting sucked up.
That's
because Mary pushed her powers and we got that much. That's as much as we could do.
Yeah.
And shortly after they arrived, some kind of cloud or something from Shadowfall came and was going to take all of them, but we managed to save 3,000 of them. Well, Morganite managed to save 3,000 of them. So I don't know if you might have felt something shortly after we left. I mean, the portal opening, or the presence of the people, or the sudden absence of the people. I don't know if it may have registered at all.
It did not.
Okay.
So, did the power drain on the planet start happening distinctly after you were infected? Or when the infection landed in the wastes?
The magic began to ebb from the Fondi after Darkfall, but not immediately. It was months before it began to leave.
Dan?
Alexandra, right?
Yes.
I think now would be a really good time for you to tell us what you know about the Empress's modus operandi.
That would require Aunt Puppy to be prepared for that.
So
which she is not.
So what Elliot would know is that, generally speaking, Elliot has never known it to take this long for the Empress to possess a world that she has decided is her own.
Yes.
Typically what happens is the Empress says, yes, I like this, I will have it. And
comes crashing into existence in our area.
essentially. She deploys her powers, her magic, her whatever it is, and essentially pulls the world into her own, and it essentially becomes a part of Shadowfall. And that usually takes hours. The longest you can ever remember it taking is a couple of days.
So I guess this is probably like a meta question more than anything, but do we understand with LaFondi that LaFondy only exists in a pocket dimension. Like, our entire universe is this dimension. Do we understand that concept, or is it just like
Not in that way, no.
okay?
You would understand that your world, your planet, your LaFondy exists in its universe, for lack of a better term, and that until a little less than a year ago, it was alone there, and then suddenly it wasn't.
Yeah.
Aaron, you're on mute.
Yeah, kind of like the Doctor Who episode where everything was erased except for the marriage of Amy Pond.
Yeah.
Everything is the only thing in the universe is Earth and the TARDIS sun.
Yeah. And you on LaFondy, that's all you've known. So the idea of a pocket dimension is not a thing. No. You know that LaFondy is LaFondy. It's in its space. And until about a year ago, it was just LaFondy.
Because
there weren't even stars. There were no stars. There was no sun. There was no moon. Yeah.
It's just LaFondy. Because with all the information that Elliot's giving the party, I feel like there's going to be like this really harsh learning curve of like, but we're the only one. How can something come from somewhere else and like fool the world? Like, we're the only one. What is that? Like, that kind of ignorance?
Over the past few days, over the past week, it's been about a week since this kind of information has come to light. You're all smart enough to start understanding that, okay, other realms exist. Like somewhere outside next to our own, there are other parallel worlds, essentially.
But she being the Empress is like stuck her finger into our little area and was like, I'm gonna suck this up and make it mine, and we're going, no, it's ours.
Essentially.
And I mean, Braylon could definitely would have spent time, explaining the concept of other realities because they're from one.
The concept of the multiverse.
Yeah. Or at least the concept of a universe.
Yeah.
They would basically say that, no, and they wouldn't, because of being connected with the Menomine, they would be aware that there is a multiverse. Because, yeah, they would.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't this mentioned though? Like, after it was stolen? I could have sworn we had this talk. Kind of.
What was that?
This feels like a repeat combo because I could have sworn we had this talk after they were taken.
Right, when the lore showed up,
And
there
got
was
taken.
a brief There was a brief discussion, but you guys didn't really have time to
talk it out.
Delve
there was, like,
into it.
3 other major things going on where we had to be like, who are we saving now?
Like you were you would have been. That conversation was sort of the introduction to the concept of there's more than just this.
Yeah.
And then it was off to the next thing.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm just saying, like, right now what we've been retold is still like we haven't had time to unpack it, but we have had this mentioned.
Yeah, it's kind of a continuation of a conversation that you started a few days ago.
Yeah. Okay. Wild. So then your queen is Empress, whatever, female leader in charge person, boss lady thing. Is she sucking the magic out to suck LaFondy out? or like how with what the Guardian is saying and what you're saying she does, like we stop her from being gluttonous and we save the planet?
Essentially, yes.
Are you okay with us going in and doing the thing?
Well, seeing as before I came here I was about to be arrested for trying to undermine her, I'm okay with it.
I need more of that story, but that's for a later day. With more of that liquor that you found us on Kingsley's airship. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to do a whole lot of undermining of this person. It seems like this is all connected then. If there's someone who shows up to take parts of worlds and something's draining the magic.
Think of her...
She doesn't take parts of worlds.
No,
she takes
all of
entire worlds.
Oh.
So think of her like Veruca Salt. She just wants it all and doesn't really care what happens to make all of it hers.
Well, I never read that book, but I think I understand from the context.
Oh. I mean, so some of my references may not make sense to you guys because I've never actually read a whole book before.
Also, they're not from the same place.
That's true. That's true. Well, also, fine. We'll have things.
Excuse me, can I turn around now?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Wait,
Sorry about that.
Actually, yeah, you were the next.
Someone's eyes were pretty. I wonder whose eyes were pretty.
You were the next person I wanted to talk to because you're part of a project that seemed interested in getting to this Shadowfall.
Different.
Yeah, we had a wardrobe malfunction.
Oh. Okay. Okay, what? I'm sorry. This is a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
It's
usually
not gonna
nicer
get
here.
simpler.
It doesn't
Soda, she looks at you for a minute and goes, "Wait, weren't you red?"
Was that? I'm so glad you remembered.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so all of this is it's terrifying, and Project Atlas. So here, and she sort of digs around in she's got this really fancy belt on.
For a second, you all think Kingsley has spontaneously developed the ability to teleport?
She's got this really fancy belt on, and she's kind of...
I think the word you're looking for is fanny pack.
No, it's not a fanny pack. It's literally a belt that's like really fancy. It's got like little crystals on it, and she's like, stupid thing, and she's like fighting with this belt. And finally, one of the crystals comes away from it, and she's like, "Here, this is everything I have. It's everything I know. Maybe you can make use of it. I'm the only one left. I have no more resources." And she hands you what is a data crystal.
So no one's gonna have commentary on the fact that she's just walking around with all of the Atlas Shrugged stuff on her belt? Atlas Shrugged.
Atlas Shrugged.
No.
Okay.
Mary's going to.
If this dimension has a version of Ayn Rand, I'm going to go and kill her and bury her in the deepest dark that exists.
No, but Mary's turning on her light.
But literally just boom, right into the Vox, trying to read it, and am immediately completely engrossed in it.
That is why Mary is turning on her light, because it doesn't actually have any stat reasons, but we have described it as a more calming presence.
So,
and honestly, Mary's like, yeah, we could use a little bit of chill, a little bit of comfort.
Guardian, do you have a place where we can read a data crystal? Perhaps where we can all see it?
Yes. The Master Mage's quarters.
Can you read a data crystal on a Vox?
You can.
Okay.
But you can only read it in small. This data crystal. You've never seen a data crystal with that is so dense, and your Vox is struggling to
No, but the whole
keep up. But you
the only
can.
reason I asked that is because she didn't even hear Ruby ask that question. You are going to have to get her attention to give her the idea to go and look at a bigger screen.
So when you ask about that, he will point toward a door you've never seen before or never noticed before on one of the walls of the main chamber. And we'll say the Master Mage's quarters
Just
would
gonna
have what you are looking for.
just gonna go behind Ruby and like by the shoulders, just kind of like gently like guide her into the room while she's
Emerald?
reading it.
You mean Emerald.
Emerald. I said Ruby
Yes.
again. My bad.
They're interchangeable.
Anybody who has been in the Citadel for an extended period of time, please give me a perception check.
You're
The
requiring
Citadel,
Aunt Puppy to remember a lot of shit.
the place where the mages live.
That still isn't helpful. I can't remember.
Roll perception.
24.
Wait, who am I? Oh, I'm Elliot now, or I'm.
Yeah, you are yourself now.
I am me now. Hopefully, my
Negative 41.
Sorry, perception.
Yes.
Perceptification is a skill I have somewhere. Not with that roll. Mary's having little thoughts and wants to do things, but doesn't want to interrupt people.
Natural
You're it?
one.
Braylon, you're right over there.
Oh,
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Alexandrite, it actually, you were the one that got into a fight with the building, so it makes absolute sense that you would be the one that notices.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot I punched a lot of doors and
Right.
scared the Jesus out of it.
Guy.
You take note that this chamber of Ithium seems to have a lot in common with the Citadel. When it's not sick, which this place very clearly is right now, they look the same or very similar in the way their crystal looks. They clearly both change shape, and you think they both have some kind of sentience. So you just take note of that the two are definitely related somehow.
So basically, I'm just gonna be like, don't kick the building. I'm just gonna like leave it at that. Just don't kick the building.
Planning on it?
Can I just be like, this looks just like the other one? Huh.
Okay.
So
Don't kick the building.
you will go into what has been dubbed the Master Mage's quarters. And when you enter into there, it's almost like stepping through a portal into
Hey, Mark.
into non-crystalloid Lafandi, the Lafandi that you know better. And against one wall, you do in fact see a data crystal computer thingy where you can put the data crystal and read it on something other than a box.
A big LCD screen.
Kind of. It's more of a holographic thing. It's like one of those. It's kind of like in Star Wars. It's kind of like in Star Wars where, you know, they have the little tables, and the holographs come up from the table. It's a bit like that.
All right. Well, Ruby is just gonna make her way over to Emerald.
By the way, side note, it's surprisingly challenging to pay attention when you're trying to look like you're not paying attention.
Yeah, Ruby is going to reach out, putting her hand on Emerald's arm. We need that crystal. We can read it better on this display, and it'll give us more information.
What? What?
The crystal. We need to use it over here.
Where?
And Ruby will gesture towards the larger display.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would work a lot better.
Emerald, I know what you're looking for, but with what we're dealing right now, it seems very likely they're on Shadowfall if they're on the Fondi at all. If they're not on the Fondi at all, which I don't think they are. If we can deal with this, then we can deal with both problems at once.
No, I know. That's why I want to look through it. If this information can get us to Shadowfall, yeah. And she'll,
we're going to find them. I'm promising you that right now.
Thanks.
And then Ruby will take the crystal and plug it in, and then put it in the wrong way, and then flip it over, and then flip it back over because it was the right way before.
So
crystals are USB.
Yep. Evidently.
You get the crystal into the little compartment for reading the data. And you are also amazed by how much information is actually compressed into this crystal. And you begin to call up all of that information. And Talender will trail in behind you, behind everyone, and just sort of stand off to one side, thinking that she might be able to help if anything is confusing. And yeah, go ahead.
Talindra, we appreciate that you just handed this over, but can you even give us the executive summary while we start digesting all of it?
So we discovered that this is going to sound bizarre, but we discovered that some of the people who were in charge of important bits of the government were not themselves.
Oh yeah, they're rude.
What?
Sorry.
Hang on.
Let her finish.
Yeah, what do you mean, Talindra?
Okay, so someone was using some kind of transformation magic that we've never seen before. And the mages that we trusted with it didn't understand it. But using this transformation magic, they were impersonating important people within our government and sabotaging efforts to look into the whole Darkfall, the dying plants, the crystals, all of it. And so some of us got together and decided to form a conspiracy and do it ourselves. And in the process of doing that, it was decided that we needed to go there. And she sort of points vaguely up in the direction of Shadowfall.
Mm-hmm.
But we needed a way to do that. And so we recruited Lafondi's best shipbuilders, because how else are we going to get there except an interspatial ship? And so we began the process of working out how to do that. And the palaces we were close. You can see we knew which gems and which magic to use. We knew the shape. We knew everything, and the palaces had begun to build it. And I think the prototype was done. And then
it was destroyed.
So now all that is left is that. And as she's speaking, and you're sort of scrolling through all of this information, and you can see the various phases of their investigations that eventually led them to, okay, we have to go there and see what it is, because we're at the end of what we can find here. And then that leads into the research into the magic and which gems to use and how many, and also you find the plans for the ship. So that's all that's left. And the mages are gone. The palaces are gone. My family is gone. I have no more resources. I don't. Perhaps you can do what we couldn't.
Ruby?
Yes?
Emerald? Do these plans make sense to you?
GM, do the plans make sense to me?
Ruby, give me mining, or if you have any like specific gem related, like gemstone stuff. Your basic mining will work.
Okay, I'll just go with mining.
Emerald, what expertises do you have?
Expertise aeromotives?
Yeah, give me that one.
Hey, go ahead and check off that bingo. I got a 41.
Nice. Holy crap.
Natural 20.
Yeah, that was. Holy.
So you're a little more iffy on the actual magic and gem stuff, because that's not your area of expertise. But you 100%, you understand everything about the actual building of the ship itself. You understand why they picked the shape they picked. You understand why it has these technologies instead of these technologies. On the surface, you understand why these gems with this gem magic rather than this gem or this gem magic, even if you don't completely understand how that works precisely. But you are convinced that if you had the space and the resources, that you could build this.
I kind of glance it over, and I look over at Amber and say, if the gem magic is right, I can build this.
Okay. Morganite, you can create crystals.
I can create temporary structures.
They're innate. They persist, or they can persist. You can dismiss them, but I can transmute materials. Alexandrite, your gem gives you a control of magic.
Correctamundo.
Working together, I think we can follow these plans and build the ship.
But this is the prototype, if that's what I'm hearing. It's... Yes, a great build, but I don't know if we can put all of our eggs in this basket. Is my only fear.
Do we have another basket?
Fair.
I'm happy to spread out our eggs, but do we have another basket?
They also
It's
didn't.
smart.
Have
I don't want
someone
to have a
from Shadowfall.
What was that?
So they also didn't have someone from Shadowfall before.
fair.
And
I'm
they were
just-
close enough along that they destroyed the prototype and tried to kidnap everyone involved.
Uh-huh.
And they were
completely on
also
board
doing this without
building.
like magical girls to help them.
I'm not saying we shouldn't build it. No, building it is a great idea. I'm just saying when we have it done, we should be very careful because it could still crash and burn on us, and I don't want us to be in it.
I've already
When it does.
I'm creating a list of the materials we'll need.
So the one thing that you do know is that this is going to take a few weeks. This is not something that can, like, you're going to have to fight the forces, as it were, in between trying to build this thing.
Yeah.
Guardian. Judging by how fast things are going, how much time do we have? How much time does Lafandi have?
It is difficult to say with any certainty. We are fighting against it as best we can. Perhaps months,
Okay.
perhaps shorter.
Guardian.
It depends on how strong the enemy becomes and how weak we continue to get.
Okay, great. Guardian, you taught me how to heal the Solus.
Yes.
Is that what is affecting you, or is it something else?
This is something else.
Is there something we can do to give us more time?
Unknown.
Mm-hmm.
So, can we time dilation?
experiment.
Like, can we like make time stop for a little bit and take care of the ship?
I don't
No.
know. Can I run my experiment very quick?
What if we have a ship that we travel at warp speed around the sun?
There is no sun.
What if we fly around the planet so fast that time
And
goes
we
backwards?
would need to build the ship to fly
First.
it around.
Details.
Mary wants to conduct the experiment really quick. Which was with the gem that Barry had been given from the Solus.
Okay.
If I can. So we have a hero point, all right, because new game, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Using that, Mary wants to use the healing power to cure the Solus ability on the gem.
Okay. So you
To see what happens.
hold I assume you keep the,
It wrapped.
are you going to uncover it so that you can see it?
Yes, like see it, but like because her heal
You can
is a
just-
pulse.
You can just keep the cloth covering your hand.
Yeah.
That'll be fine. So you hold it, on its cloth in the hand, and you pulse the healing pulse, and for a moment you don't think anything happened, and then the shard
explodes and we all die.
No, it disintegrates. It becomes nothing.
Gotcha. Cool. I guess that's important to know.
Okay.
We can continue. I just was really needing to kind of test that because I didn't quite know what the heal did. I mean, I was taught it, but
Well, that's fair. But so right now, if we don't have any way to slow down this infection, we're going to have to go to what seems like the source. We have the plans to build the vehicle that we need.
We can provide space and workers to be guided in the building of this ship.
Yes.
That's exactly what we need. But I'm also wondering if Shadowfall has any sort of defenses that we might not be aware of, that
Exactly.
Alexandra, you might have some idea of.
Everything.
So, as far as you're aware, the defenses are purely like magical in nature. They don't have like anti-aircraft missiles or anything like that, because that's not something like, who would be insane
Who would
enough?
be dumb enough to come?
Right. Who would be insane enough
As
to try
gluttonous
to?
as she is also
Yeah.
prideful in that she thinks she can protect herself.
Yeah. So, you can't magic yourself into or out of the planet. Generally, occasionally someone might slip through accidentally, but you can't magic yourself into or out of Shadowfall. There are weapons once you get there that are used to control and subdue the populace and whatnot. But as far as like warfare with the other places, that's usually just the Empress and her goons go to the place and then take the place. So
you got out somehow anyways, and I get that, like, the gemstone, the gem magic was a part of it. So I'm curious if I'm wondering if I can at least get Alexandrite and myself up there. Because I mean, obviously there's shadows up there. It's called shadow. That's my thing. And I'm wondering, if you don't mind, if you let me, like, you give me a really, really, really good image of like your favorite secretest place that maybe all like the magic and the security just can't quite reach. One of those nooks where you find your books or whatever paraphernalia that you got yourself in trouble with. I don't know. Tell me about it, and I'll take us there. And so then we'll have a couple of spies to send back information. I don't know, maybe let's see how far that whole like group teleport thing can take us. Or it hurts and it doesn't work.
How far can you travel with your shadow step?
I haven't maxed it out yet, technically.
I'm not sure I like the idea of you two going there on your own.
I just fear that even if you can get in, it's possible that that might not be a guarantee on the way out.
Oh, that's every fight.
Okay, but we can't get there to help.
Yeah, we're only really gonna get... I think we're only gonna get one shot at this.
I agree.
And we don't want to throw it away.
But we also can't wait weeks for a ship that may or may not work either.
Okay, well, we don't know the distance of your shadow port or our Gemma port. If the ship can get us close enough, maybe we can find a way to get you two in and then teleport to you. But that still is a completely magical-based solution, which I feel like if there's any sort of defense there, that's going to be the sort of thing that they'll pick up on.
Maybe. I think there's something in the fact that she was able to get out anyways.
How did you get out?
And the cat's gone. The cat does whatever the hell it wants to do. I'm sorry if you're here, Queenie.
Yeah,
but,
I would actually love some help from the cat.
But, like, the cat comes and goes as she pleases, so the magical defenses aren't as complete as apparently this Empress claims they are. Things have come and gone without her permission, and there's
the cat knew how she got there, per se.
Yeah, you guys have had this discussion before,
Mm-hmm.
and it was determined that more or less it was an absolute fluke.
Yeah.
Brought
that
on
either
by
one of us got where we got.
That it was brought on by Elliot being at one of the portals, not really knowing what the heck she was doing, and stepping through while trying to use the gemstone anyway. And it was kind of an accident.
I also don't know how much that went unnoticed. Because it does seem like her efforts have been aggressively ramped up towards us. So I don't know how much I'm not just kind of putting out a beacon.
Yeah, she's certainly aware of us and you.
She was aware of me before, being as part of her court.
Well,
is it possible?
Soda, you actually know that she is aware that the gems exist.
Yeah.
And that she was aware they existed before you did.
Here's what I'm thinking. Sorry, so a complete thought train going on. The one time we had that big like vision circle, whatever it was, power combination, we saw Empress or Bailey, but we saw like Gru Costa, we saw Brilliance, and we saw Sophie.
Right? What are we talking about?
I think she's talking about the whenever I went back and when I got like a 32 or some obnoxiously high roll on like a history check.
It wasn't a history, it was like the power combination of like your little like seeing thing.
Yeah, I keep flopping back and forth between systems.
You're good. But it was like during that where like we saw like backstory about the gems and like how
pushing through. Yeah, like someone tries to pick up the gem and burns her, and you describe her skin tone, and
that was Sophie.
Yeah. Okay. Is it? And like we know that those three, they knew the Empress, right?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
I would like to point out that Brilliance was not in that vision.
No.
Okay. I might have.
It was another group. It was another Gru, the Gru that became Acosta, and the Empress.
Correct.
And then like some guards that were like mushing Sophie's face into the ground and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we're fairly certain that
The
Brilliance
Empress
is
cursed
not-
her into the form of the cat.
Right, no. But
You
I
guys don't know that. That
Yeah.
wasn't you.
No, that was the pets.
That was the pets.
That's all I'm talking about. My thoughts are, what just hit my door? Sorry. My thoughts are just going down like a train, and it's the whole worry but thinking of, because Guru Costa was connected, could that like meta thing, like the thing that you said was like the meta mind but wrong?
Oh, I think that's the Empress.
Yeah,
I think
is
so,
that
too.
her? If that's her, and I'm not saying this is our smartest idea, but we've gotten into things. Is it possible that we could get to her connected and just see what we could find?
No.
No?
There's no way you'd be able to get through any of her protections.
And
what
we
if
don't
we
know
got
what
a
that'll do
hold
to
of
us.
like another Gru, or maybe a soulless without healing them, and we like backtrack through the connection to her?
Mm-hmm. I was in there when she was in there. I don't know if she recognized me, but I didn't.
Oh, she'll probably recognize me.
Yeah.
The entire time this conversation is happening, I'm working through and developing the logistics for building this ship.
So,
Yeah, we'll let her.
because I feel like if you're given like an hour, you'd be able to figure out how to get this thing built in a week instead of 2.
With a little luck. No, but like, it's
Right?
So
With
with
a
a
little
little
luck.
luck, you'd be able
It
to.
also gives Kingsley something she desperately needs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Something to
Something
do.
to focus on.
Yeah.
Purpose.
I'm just, I don't know, like completely just train of thought, but we might
Are
get.
you wanting to go kidnap someone with me so I can read their minds?
You what?
Yeah, I saw it too. It's okay. You will be safe to get up and turn your light back on. It's okay.
Well, I don't think it turned off. I think it was a power. Because my dad is silent for a second,
No, I'm
and Nick
fine.
froze. You froze.
Well,
and
we can also hear and talk to you. So
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway.
he didn't glitch at all.
I'll be the bulb.
Anyway,
The Empress is
You
coming
would.
for you.
Oh no!
I guess. Like the sound
Do
of
you want
that.
to kidnap someone with me? Lights go off. Okay, I did not mean to be that intense about it. My bad.
Okay. I think that intentionally hitting any of our will against something that is on par with the metamind is an incredibly bad idea.
Okay, what if we do it together?
No.
Okay.
Yes, please let me have all of you at once.
Yeah. No.
but the power.
I only kind of like you guys, and it would take every single one of us using max power, just hoping and praying that we don't all get sucked into it. Because if we don't succeed, we don't survive.
Wait, so how is she able to do that? Where has she gotten like the magic or the technology to do the thing that she's doing to everyone to make them soulless in the first place? Because she's obviously tapped into like one of our myths here and made it come true, but that doesn't explain where she's gotten the tech to be able to do any of this.
Well,
You
not
know what?
everything she's stolen is from this realm. So,
Sort of like.
one of the many worlds, and of all of that, she takes all of their knowledge, all of it. No one else has access to full realms of knowledge. Only she does. So for years, she's been doing nothing but reading, studying, practicing, stealing, reading, studying, practicing, stealing, over and over and over again. Forever.
I'm waiting for someone to ask the important question.
What if we go for Sophie?
How does she even
not
know
Sophie.
LaFonde exists?
Yeah.
How did she find out about this place if we're so unique in all the stories that Braylon's told us about the universe?
I will point out, and I know our GM is pointedly asking that question, but at the same time, we know somebody else found us too. We don't know that Portal found it by accident.
Well, we don't even know that it was someone else. We don't even like. I'll be honest, like metagaming wise, like Soda's assuming that the Empress ripped open the sky to suck up people to fuel her greediness. Like that's how she's viewing all of that.
But someone else dropped them off in the first place.
Yeah, like she doesn't.
Or does Soda think it's the same?
But
it's all the same thing to her.
Okay.
Like a bad person did something to feed the even worse person up there, or it's the really bad person just yoinked people through our planet to feed her greediness. Like that's kind of how cut and
it is important to note, Braylon.
Yeah.
Until you landed here, you'd never heard of LaFonde.
Right.
So yeah, I'm honestly I meant to ask that question earlier, so whoops. But yeah, no, like if we're as hidden as like Braylon says we are, what brought her here to even know that we exist to steal from? Do you know where her cat is?
My cat is right here.
Not that adorable, sweet one. I'm talking about the mean, creepy one.
No.
Guardian, did the cat come in with us?
We don't know half the time.
The Guardian knows, though.
Oh.
I am unaware of entrances and exits at this time.
Morgan,
Freeze it.
try to help heal him a little bit. He's a little rough.
Let's ask him.
Are you talking to Mousy?
No, Soda was trying to like lean over to Morganite to be like, "Can you help him? Because he's struggle busting these conversations."
I mean, he was technically in the pulse probably because my pulse is pretty big when I did the thing on the gem that evaporated it. If that didn't help, I don't know what will.
Anybody who has the ability to focus on the Guardian, give me an insight check.
It's like literally everyone but Kingsley.
I do not have the ability to.
Yeah, I don't have a good insight. I still tried.
I don't either, but I know that we all got a luck point earlier, and it's getting late, so I'm gonna spend that.
Okay.
Okay, 21.
So
I don't trust that I could roll much better than I did.
Anybody who got a 20 or higher, when you are not speaking directly to the Guardian, he seems to be elsewhere. And you get the impression that he is actively fighting against something.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he said as much earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. I'm still just
And
thinking.
that his focus is on that and not what is happening here.
So Alexandria is going to turn to him, kind of look at him and just poignantly say, "She's coming, isn't she?"
Not yet.
This isn't good.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, so once again, trying to remember our past. In looking through the memories of Council Hydroxus or whatever he was, we had seen Amber or Braylon, and then we saw Sophie, right? Or what we think was Sophie.
Saw at the time a dark, shadowy figure that stepped through, and then everything went black. You guys have connected that is Sophie?
Yeah, because that's what was fighting Sodalite at the Rotunda.
Correct.
Wait, does this count as Sophie happens?
I don't think
Probably.
So, yeah, okay. Because I'm thinking about my mortal enemy right now. You know. Because
well, you are her mortal enemy. I don't know about it. It's the other way around.
Well, I got the complication, so.
Yeah.
But because of that, I'm guessing here, but would that mean that she was the one who made them soulless? Because she hated me before healing the soulless.
Yes.
So do we want to maybe at least not go after her, but add that to our list of objectives in case whenever we get called to try to get her?
Sure.
We'll just add that to the list.
I mean, our list is only growing, but
I don't think she was ever on the list of people we wouldn't go after.
Yeah, I know, but make it more of a point. Our first point is save the family, save people, keep people safe. And if she gets away for that greater good, it's fine, but prioritize her, because she might be able to give us info about where we're trying to break into.
Sure, we can grab whatever we need from her mind if we get a chance.
Exactly.
I mean, if we get a
assuming
chance.
Assuming that she's up there.
Yeah,
I am too, but I'm also assuming she might not be, because she kind of shot me a really, really angry look when I did that healing thing in the Rotunda.
So it should be noted that every time you've seen her so far, she has been with either Brilliance or Acosta. She was not present in the intercessory.
No. I'm not saying we will see her again, but if we do.
No, I mean, you're not wrong.
What about
she could be
she
that
knows
info.
something.
What was her name again?
I don't think we got. I think we had not Sophie tied to her. We have a different name for her.
Yeah, because in my notes I said something rude about her. I called her the shitty shadow assassin.
I think there was something about.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Acosta did refer to her as Sophie.
Oh, he did? Okay. So we do have a name.
He referred to her as Sophie, but that doesn't mean she was Sophie. Seeing as they're all Gru anyways.
I'm just saying that's what he referred to her as.
See, I'm not gonna get a bingo tonight either, but
what about Brilliance? If she's locked down somewhere, maybe we can see what she knows. Although I can't imagine it's much at this point.
I mean, I feel like the Empress is doing pretty good at covering her tracks by literally melting him.
Melting people?
By melting him when we had him trapped.
Oh, what a world.
We had the perfect trap, and then she was like, well, that sucks. Time to melt him.
Oopsie doodles, you have failed me for the last time.
Literally. So with Brilliance being captured, I'm not sure. By waiting, I'm not sure we've got a chance anymore.
It is important to note that she did not turn into a Gru or melt when she was taken down. So
just saying,
she's probably the real Brilliance. Probably.
I think if
Yeah,
the Empress
but-
was going to destroy her, she would have done it then.
That's fair. Yeah, but there are ways to mess with people that aren't just melting them, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah,
What is the Empress holding over people like Brilliance in order to get them to betray their entire world? Like,
Well, well, nope. I am thoroughly engaged.
I'm gonna go over to Emerald and shake her.
What?
What was it you said to Brilliance when I threw a knife at her?
When you threw a
You
knife?
you insulted her.
Oh, yeah. She is her. I discovered that the thing she is most ashamed of is that she failed Acosta. And I go right back to
Thank
work.
you. That might be what she has.
I mean, there's also simply self-preservation. Why work with someone who's going to destroy your entire world? Because if she can destroy your entire world, but you help her, maybe you'll survive the process.
She likes to make a lot of promises she doesn't always intend to keep.
Yeah, we did that.
Elliot,
Yes.
that actually, part of that rings true to you because you happen to know that she has people on the inner circle who were once powerful in the worlds she now possesses.
is she a Gru?
Is she a
which-
Gru? I don't know.
I don't know. Like some kind of something between like a regular Gru and a metamind?
I don't.
I don't know how they work. It's just with her being able to manipulate all of this stuff and having, no offense, but like having similar habits to like what you're talking about, like how things work when you were still in your grouping.
Why is my character so traumatized?
All of us.
Parents were kidnapped and
Same.
assassins have been after us. You know, it's a normal day right now.
I know, but I have thoughts.
Share them. No one's
I
stopping
can't.
you. Why?
Yeah, no,
I am
Emerald is
stopping
throwing
me.
herself in the work.
She is
Okay.
not paying attention to this conversation at all.
Okay. Okay.
I literally had to shake her to get her to talk about how she insulted her enemy.
I mean, I appreciate the focus. That's badass. I wouldn't touch any of those. I don't. Computers? Is that what that's called? I don't know. The big box thing.
We call it a big box thing.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't know. Okay. Let's just do a little thought experiment. If she is some kind of uber Gru, that's terrible. What would her weaknesses be if that's the case?
She's the Gruber.
Of course, because she's a brilliant thief.
Oh, I cannot listen to this nonsense anymore. She's not a
Yeah.
Gru.
Yeah,
No.
she has a
Yeah.
rap name.
No, I knew that.
See, I knew if we said enough nonsense, she would come around. Hi, where are you? Thanks for showing up. We
That
could
was your
free to
plan?
use your help and advice. Damn it. So, anyways, if she is a Gru, what would be the way
Are you
to
trying
get
to
through the
get God
defenses
to
and
talk
So
to us?
you see right in front of your face, the cat's head appears. She's not a Gru, you moron.
okay. Then, if you know so much, what is she?
Evil incarnate.
so are you. That doesn't mean anything.
I am not evil incarnate.
What
I
are
made
you then?
mistakes in my life, but
Then let's start making some good. What do we need to know to fight her?
that you can't fight her.
Then why does it matter if we thought she was a Gru? Why'd you poke in again?
Why do you hang out with us still?
Why do you even come here? You don't even go
You're
here.
totally following us around still. So, I mean, like...
Hope is a hell of a drug.
Hope is a hell of a drug. Isn't it fun?
No,
Then give us some.
Hope got me killed.
Seem too dead.
And Mousy goes, oh yeah, we should probably talk about what happened when you were taken.
Well, you see, Ortisan, or whatever, my aunt, he doesn't like talking to me. So, I wasn't expecting that.
I will answer the one question you asked before. I'm why she knows about LaFonde. And then she disappears.
Wait, what?
You outed?
And with that revelation, that is where we will end tonight's episode.
Yeah.
Cat.
Yeah.
Because it is 10:35.
Can we add a bingo space that says Fukin Alara?
Can we add a bingo space which is called Jemmy Keeps Missing Bingo?
Yeah, all I
So you
hear
get an
is Vicky
extra-
didn't know math.
Exactly!
So we want to thank you for joining our adventures tonight. For things happening around the network, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, the Freedom League Dark will return for more of their multiversal shenanigans. On Thursday, there will be a new blog post, and I hear tell that someone might get bingo next week. That will be up on our website. On Friday, our newest episodes from YouTube will also be posted to our website. And at 6, episode 5 of our new that's 6 on Friday. Episode 5 of our new podcast, Heroes of Tomorrow, will drop. Episodes 1 through 4 are now available on Spotify and on our website. Aaron, are they available yet on Apple or the other one?
Apple or Google Play? I don't know. I don't think so. I need to follow up on that and figure out what's happening with that and why they haven't shown up yet.
Okay. So for the moment, our website and Spotify, you can definitely find them there. Alex is currently kickstarting his first ever comic book, which is a whimsical fantasy RPG romp that follows a party of adventurers through their first epic tabletop campaign. You can check out Chaotic Good over on Kickstarter for more information and to back that project. We here at USP also want to remind you that we have a Patreon with all kinds of fun rewards. And so you can check us out over there to see all of the options to support us on Patreon. And we would really appreciate any support that you might be able to give there. And of course, we will be back here next Tuesday for more Trauma Train and more GemStars. GemStars.
You said the same thing, Wiki. I don't understand.
The same mixture.
GemStars. I want to give everyone a chance to say goodnight and plug any projects they have. We will start with Joe again.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, so I'm Joe. Thanks once again for joining us this week. Shenanigans abound, because of course. Stay tuned. I might be making a set of teas, as in the beverage, because I am always drinking tea, and based on the GemStars.
She's clarifying that because of me.
Yeah, no, I had to define that because our lovely, lovely Brendan thought I was talking about t-shirts, and then like mint tea for Emerald. Oh, wait, why do you need mint on it? You get the idea.
It's a thing.
I love tea. I could ramble for hours. I'm gonna make a tea blends, whatever. Besides that, please drink water, take your meds, take care of yourself because we love you. Aaron.
As my dad took a drink.
I was mid swig of water. So Wiki covered all of the things I would have plugged. But yeah, we've got a podcast. It's pretty great. They're a lot of fun. We've got a Patreon. It's pretty great. There are all sorts of neat things there, and there's going to be more coming soon. Be kind to each other. And follow Will Wheaton's rule, and don't be a dick.
Don't be a Richard.
And I will pass it up to Aunt Puppy.
I'm Aunt Puppy. Play a game. Bye. Calvin.
Cool. Yeah. I'm very excited to see the next arc of this Gemstar story. And hopefully y'all are too, and definitely pop by tomorrow for more of Freedom League Dark, because the league is sort of split up right now, and we got like a bunch of problems to solve, and also there's a bow tooth, which needs no explanation. And as per usual, if you're over on the YouTubes, again, please check out the Win With Ice channel, where there's tabletop podcasts and gaming streams, starting a new game on Thursday. It's supposed to be The Sims, although I really want to play Sentinels of Earth Prime, so I might just end up doing that anyway. So yeah, check that out. And then I'll pass it off to Brandon.
Well, I hope you are all having half as much fun as I am. I can't wait to see where this goes now that we have managed to defeat the insurgent coup that was attempted. And you can see me or hear me again next on Friday in our podcast. And then, of course, I will be back here on Tuesday. So, yeah, do something kind for yourself, and if you can, somebody else. Jemmy?
Hi. Well, ignoring the fact that the Empress came for me in the middle of the stream, still very amused by that, honestly. I've been sitting here in the dark, but we got a little table lamp, so we're good. This is always a ton of fun. I hope to see you all next week for more shenanigans and angst and problems, and maybe eventually I'll hit that bingo, the ever elusive bingo.
Oh, she's gonna be so mad at the end of this.
Yeah, you got bingo, I'm certain. But to promote it for the 100th time, come listen to the podcast. I'm in it too. And it's a ton of fun. And
They
we
can't
totally
come
don't.
see the podcast.
No, I tried to. But I mean, you gotta listen to the thing that we get random messages from my father while he's editing of you guys are ridiculous, and it's a blast because he cannot cut all of our shenanigans.
Don't issue that challenge.
I will. He won't have a podcast if he cuts it all.
Well, that's true.
Do something nice. Be kind to yourself. It's nice to be nice to yourself. Wiki. And us.
That is all from us for tonight. And by the facets of the Fondy, we will see you here next week. Awkward Calibrate.
Bingo!